While the Bible does not speak directly to the political situation or the contemporary political situation of our nation, or really any nation, in principle, it does speak to many governments and political situations that we see around the world. And in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, Solomon writes in verse 16, "Woe to you, O land," and he uses this term land to refer to a nation. "Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child and your princes feast in the morning. Blessed are you, O land," and here's the contrast. On one case, woe to you. Now, blessed are you, O land, when your king is the son of nobles and your princes feast at the proper time for strength and not for drunkenness. The discussion that is here and the contrast that is here is about leadership. And it's about one situation where a king is said to be a child. I don't think that refers so much to chronological age as it refers to maturity. And it says that this king is immature and he's unfit and unable to be capable of the leadership, and therefore he has princes also with him that said that they feast in the morning. In other words, they're eating when they should be working, and they're taking all the benefit of the wealth of the government and they're using it for their own purposes. But blessed is the nation whose king is son of nobles. Not necessarily that he is noble birth, that his father was a king or royalty, but he's one of noble character, and that his princes, his administration is one that works for the people. You see, an unfit, immature leader can use his nation to build up his power, or he can use his power to build up his nation. Now, that may or may not apply to the situation we find ourselves in our city or county or state or government, but let's make application of this to an even greater nation. And in the New Testament, we understand that the church is really God's nation, knows no geographical bounds and knows no political government as far as we define that in our world today. But when you look at the leadership that the New Testament talks about for his church, that God talks about for his church, you find it in 1 Timothy chapter 3 and Titus chapter 1. And when you look at the qualities that are listed there and the characteristics of the men who are to be elders, bishops, shepherds, there's really one word. There's one word that summarizes the entire list: maturity. And so leadership, whether it be political, but especially spiritual, needs to be mature.